Hey guys, Pavel here in Siberia. I'm in a town called Tankhoy, and this is where I work. It is the office of the Baikalsky Zapovednik, their effective parks department in this particular region. Back there in the distance is a little visitor center that they're building on the complex. And right now I'm gonna take a 15-minute stroll to head back home. And I will splice in little videos of the things I pass by so you see where I'm currently living. But in the meantime, I'll also head by this. They made a little replica, I think it's a 15-meter or 20-meter replica of Lake Baikal. And here it is. It's a pretty accurate representation of the shape of the lake and all the mountains around it, and that's the delta right there from the Selenga, and that's the outflow right there. Contrary to popular belief, right now there isn't very much snow here in this stretch of Siberia. Right here on the sides of the road is just about all of it. If you could see back there towards the mountains, there's definitely some on top of there, but you know, that's what mountains do. So this town is about a population of 1,000 people, and over here is a cell phone tower, and most of the people here have cell phones, or mostly smartphones, and they're on their phones pretty regularly. That's somebody's house. Over there, those little dome structures, that's where the Baikalsky Zapovednik Park people, when they have volunteers for the summer, they house them in those little geodesic domes. Over here is a cemetery, and you could see that they have those green wreaths around each of the plots. I'm not really familiar yet with what that tradition is, but just about every plot has them. And it's kind of cool. So I'm a little ways down the road from that office building where I'm stationed out of, and now you get to see the town itself, Tankhoy. Really more of a village. Off in the distance there, that horizon and that white you see behind the tree line, that is the frozen surface of Lake Baikal. This town is right at the water line. And the Zapovednik, the refuge, doesn't quite reach up to the town. Rather, it doesn't reach up to the water line. So in the little zone in between the park and the water line is where Tankhoy is situated. Here you see somebody building something. A lot of this town looks pretty ramshackle. The houses are all various shades of disarray on the outside, and roofs are falling apart. But just about all of these houses are inhabited, and despite how they look on the outside, they're pretty decent inside. I guess the outside doesn't last very well against the really harsh winters here, so it just might not be worth making them really extravagant. So to the naked eye, it does seem like this place is sort of run down, but it's really not. This is the highway that passes through Tankhoy, and that's a street vendor over there, and there's some more on that side. And these people, they sell, I'm gonna run across the street quickly. They sell omul. It's a salmonid that's really popular here. It's a pretty big artisanal fishery, and they smoke it and they sell it. This house over here has taken some fire damage, as you can see, and I'm pretty sure no one lives here. I hope nobody lives here. That house over there, you might not see it through the video, but there it is. It has an ancestral satellite dish, which I'm sure still works. You might notice that the roads here aren't paved very well, or that there's just not very many paved roads. And the reason for that is two things, actually. One is money, which is sort of scarce in these parts. Here's a good example. and there's more houses down that way. And the other reason is the scarcity of asphalt and concrete. In a place like this that only has one store to buy produce and doesn't have very much produce at that, you can't just go out and buy concrete like you can in America. Just hop on by to your local Home Depot or Lowe's or Ace Hardware or what have you. The roads aren't in the best shape simply because concrete and asphalt are just very hard to come by. Something that you sort of take for granted. That archway off in the distance, up there it is, that is the Trans-Siberian Railroad. So the railroad is the last, drop my pen, the railroad is the last part between the town itself and Lake Baikal. And so one of the reasons that the park the Zapovednik doesn't go all the way up to the shores of Baikal is that it's cut off by the railroad. Alright, so over here, this brick building and then this shades of orange building, this is a boarding school. This school is operated by the railroad company, and kids from all over the region, they come here on Monday, they're driven here on Monday, and then they spend the week in the school, the work week, and then get driven home on the weekends. And its sole purpose, aside from general education for the lower classes, is railroad-specific professions for the upperclassmen. So it starts off as a general education school, as I understand, and then starts to focus in on things like engineering and administrative, so that by the time you graduate from here, you can work for the railroad company. Just showing some more road footage of how the road looks. And this is what I'm walking on. It's not a sidewalk, it's just the side of the street. Not that that's so bad. That gray structure over there, the barn one with the little sign, that is the Produktnik, that is the market. It is a little one-floor apartment that sells various produce. And the other day, Andrea sent me a photo of a turkey burger she had made at home. And I saw the picture, and all it was ground turkey, lettuce, bacon, and then whole wheat bread and some feta. And I wrote back that I literally could not buy any one of those ingredients here, which is true. But I do get the essentials, and you make do. So yeah, that's the market. So this blue structure, this is the visitor center for the people that come by and work for the Zapovednik, like I'm doing. And it's essentially a hostel. And this is where I'm currently staying. And at last, here are my amenities. This is a room for 3 beds, and that one is mine. And so far, nobody shares this room with me, so I do have it all to myself. And that is my view out to the town of Tankhoy, population 1,000. I'm doing well, guys. Don't worry about it.